Today, we are thrilled to bring you an in-depth look at Battle for Brooklyn. Battle for Brooklyn expands the Division franchise with a gripping new story. Whether you're a veteran eager to dive deeper into the narrative or completely new to the franchise, the DLC has something for everyone. For the first time, players can explore post-pandemic New York in the fall, navigating iconic Brooklyn neighborhoods. You can tackle the new challenges solo or in co-op, making this DLC exciting for everyone. Let's take a look at what awaits agents in Brooklyn.
Battle for Brooklyn is set in the faithfully recreated Brooklyn neighborhoods of Brooklyn Heights and Dumbo, including some familiar areas for the Division 1 players, as well as some new areas never explored in the franchise.
Main missions take place off-site to allow for a greater bespoke story experience on your first playthrough.
And the traditional side missions are replaced by replayable missions you can access from the open world.
To experience everything that Battle for Brooklyn has to offer, it will take approximately 6 to 10 hours, especially if you want to discover all the activities we have prepared for you, including 4 control points, 12 living world activities, 10 bounty locations, 8 hunter readers, and a new set of collectible bounties.
We're going back to Brooklyn because sometimes you need to go back to where you started to see how far you've come. A lot's happened in Brooklyn since the prologue of Division 1. People have moved over, trying to escape the chaos of Manhattan, and they're looking to build a new life, make a change. Coming to Brooklyn in the fall is absolutely significant to our story. It helps us show the passage of time and our characters' and players' evolution as we approach the 1-year anniversary of activation.
To bring autumn to the Division 2, we had to investigate firstly the vegetation and the weather. Via the foliage, we are dressing the city in warm autumn colors. For the weather, we have crafted something specific to Brooklyn. We went for a mix of warm weather with cold and light, and of course, something moodier to try to capture the autumnal contrasts. For Washington Street, the iconic starting area in the Division 1 overlooking Manhattan Bridge, we wanted it to still feel familiar to the players, but also really show at a glance how time has passed and hint to what might have happened in the meantime.
The bridge is the heart of Brooklyn, and the people there have pooled talent and resources that our hostile factions would like to acquire. There, you'll be tasked with protecting the people who built the settlement. Some of the characters you'll meet at the bridge throughout the campaign are familiar faces like Theo Parnell and Dr. Candle, and a brand new face that we've really only heard her voice, Agent Hoskins.
When taking Candle from Division 1 to Division 2, we wanted to show that some time has passed. She's still wearing her same old ID badge, but it's now more worn and has some wear to it. And my colleague Marie's ID badge here at Massive actually proved as a perfect reference for this because it has seen some better days. When designing Melanie Hoskins, we wanted to make sure that you can recognize some of her backstory and her character design. So we gave her a very cute bracelet that says Mom that she wears that were made by her 4-year-old son Freddie. And throughout Brooklyn, we've hidden all these character backstories in their character designs.
The settlement evolves throughout the campaign in multiple stages. What we wanted to capture here is the feeling of community coming together, building and protecting themselves. Brooklyn was hit by the hurricane alongside Manhattan, only here things happened a bit differently. For some areas, the people in Brooklyn have come together to protect the shoreline from the hurricane, so its impact on the city has not been the same as in Manhattan. Moreover, the community has also started cleaning up after the storm. People in Brooklyn strive to rebuild their lives. They are looking into covering their base necessities in terms of food and water, so they are using the available space inside the city to do so, including the rooftops.
In the DLC, players will actually be facing an enemy that they are usually used to or that they have been fighting already, and that's the cleaners. But there's a special twist on those cleaners because they actually have a new weapon, which is what we call the Purple Flame. People might be familiar with the idea of the Purple Flame. Those who have played the Incursion, the Mirror Estate, they might have seen that already. This is something we introduced back then. But in this DLC, in Battle for Brooklyn, the cleaners have been able to find ways to mass produce this weapon, and this is really their main way of bringing destruction. This is how they've launched the assault on Brooklyn now, using that new weapon to really try to erase Brooklyn from the map. So as an agent, you have to go there, not just face the cleaners as you know them, but face the cleaners with that extra level of threat and of danger because of the Purple Flame. In-game, what this means, basically, is there is a new effect that is added to the usual fire effect you would get from the cleaners. Every time you face a cleaner that uses purple flame, you're not only going to be set on fire, but we're also adding a corrosion effect. And this corrosion, what it does is it's basically reducing your max armor. So the longer you engage in a fight against cleaners with purple flame, the lower your armor gets. And even if you use armor kits, even if you try to heal, you're only going to be able to go as high as what your new maximum is. And that maximum keeps decreasing the longer you fight them. And of course, this is part of our story. This is part of why the cleaners are coming to Brooklyn, or why you need to go there and stop them, because it's an unusual threat. It's something that even the civilians in Brooklyn are not used to. We are going to have to find out how did they produce it, where are they producing it, and how did they get all the supplies they need to actually be able to mass produce this new weapon.
No Division story would be complete without the hunters. In Brooklyn, we have 8 new riddles and 8 masks that you can unlock, if you're willing to take on the challenge.
For the Brooklyn Hunters, we wanted their uniforms to actually match their mask designs a bit more than they usually do, and that will also echo into the game design of the puzzles that unlocks them. We wanted to create a cohesive theme while maintaining the amazing classic hunter look.
Control points are a big part of the open world. With Brooklyn, we've taken them one step further. Based on faction ownership, players can expect a different challenge every time they encounter the same control points. Each hostile faction has its own unique ingredients. The cleaners have the purple flame, while the Rikers also have some surprises up their sleeve. Players can expect to encounter those new ingredients in every control point in Brooklyn. For players wanting a bigger challenge, increasing the global difficulty will also have an impact on the amount of ingredients that they encounter in the control points. Smart Cover returns in Battle for Brooklyn as a reimagined skill for PvE and PvP. Using the Smart Cover will reinforce cover, grant buffs to offense and defense, and enhance pulse resistance for all allies.
Players can choose between 2 variants, the Precision Smart Cover and the Fortified Smart Cover. Both variants have some stats tuned differently for PvP.
In the DLC, we have a new exotic mask called the Catalyst, and it's actually perfect against the cleaners as it gives bonus for dealing and receiving status effect damage. So while burning, you can maintain ADS without disruption. When doing the effect for the Catalyst, we wanted to invoke the feeling of a dying fire. So when you move, the air stokes the fires, causing the mask to flare up more and more the faster you go. But when you stop, the fire slowly dies and only smoke remains.
Battle for Brooklyn launches on May 27, 2025. The DLC will be available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. For those of you who already own The Division 2, Battle for Brooklyn will be available as a standalone product for €14.99. The Battle for Brooklyn Deluxe DLC will also be available, including exclusive cosmetics. You can visit Ubisoft Store to see the options and wishlist the DLC. If you have friends who don't own the game yet, let them know that the DLC will also be available for new players in our new Gold Edition and Ultimate Edition, giving them immediate access to the main game, Warlords of New York expansion, and the Battle for Brooklyn DLC in May. No matter through which edition you decide to get the DLC, it comes with a level 40 boost, allowing you to jump right into the Battle for Brooklyn campaign, and 50 stash space slots, also accessible in the main game.
Working on the Division 2 DLC was an exciting challenge for us.
We're thrilled to be bringing players back to New York, and we can't wait for you to play the Battle for Brooklyn DLC.
Thank you for watching. Now, let's go where it all began. And don't forget to mark your calendars. The rendezvous is planned for May 27th. See you in Brooklyn, agents.